Welcome back to the Outreach Project family. This is Josh.
This is Zach.
And this is Isaiah.
What's up, Isaiah?
Hey.
How are you doing today?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Isaiah actually DM'd Zach on the Instagram. It was like, hey, I want to be on. That's pretty cool, man. What made you want to do that?
I don't know. Just I saw what you guys were doing, and I really liked it. So I just felt like, hey, something I've been working recently at Huntington is spreading words and encouragement and testimonies and stuff.
Yeah.
And I saw what you guys were doing. I thought it was really cool. I thought it'd be really cool to come on and tell a lot of people about a lot of things.
Yeah, and you have a pretty neat story. God's done crazy.
Oh yes,
Crazy
yeah, but it's been a
things in
crazy journey though.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for this.
Yeah, me too. Really cool to have someone reach out and really excited to hear your story.
Yeah, thanks for doing that. If you're listening, feel free to reach out. Perfect example of getting someone on. Yeah. You said you have a podcast of your own?
I do. It's called the Huntington Insider Podcast. It's on Spotify right now.
Okay.
There's only a couple episodes. I'm actually recording an episode tomorrow. Usually upload on Wednesdays, but this next episode will come out on Wednesday. I got some plans with the guest afterwards, actually.
Nice. Is that cool if we link that in the description?
Yeah, go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, be pretty neat. People can see your work, what you do, get more in touch with you. Be pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? Where do you go to school now? What do you do for fun? All that type of stuff.
So, grew up here in Columbia City.
Your whole life? Born here?
Whole life. Born here, grew up here. Always went to school here, everything. So went to high school with you guys, obviously. Right now I'm going school at Huntington. In Huntington. It's a great little college. I really like it. I'm technically undecided, but I was going for accounting and management. I was double majoring, but I'm dropping the accounting due to recent AI developments. And there's a lot of accounting students doing the same thing. So I'm not sure. I think I'm going to stick with the management, and I'm picking up some type of biblical minor somewhere here and there. I got to talk to my advisor about that right now, but I run track for them I'm a pole vaulter, so I don't really run, but
hey,
I don't like running.
That's the good part.
No, other than that, that's about it. Just grew up here. It's kind of all over the place. Love to play sports.
Okay.
Yeah.
What sports?
I grew up as a wrestler.
Yep.
I was doing that since I was about 4 years old, up until high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, up until high school. Played football a little bit in middle school and stuff. Got a lot of concussions, kind of veered away from that. Picked up track my last 2 years of high school, and I'm getting a scholarship.
And you picked up on it quick. We were on the team with you, and your progression was crazy, man.
Yeah. It wasn't expected. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
It was a non-contact sport that I could do, so I joined and ended up being pretty decent at it. So
yeah, that's awesome. Do you have any other hobbies, interests?
Other than the podcast, not really.
No?
Just pole vaulting, podcast, and school. That's all I'm up to.
That's busy though. That's
a full workload.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell us a bit of your. Tell us. That was so bad. Tell us a bit of your faith journey. How you came to know Christ. You said you want to share some testimony.
So when I was younger, I was pretty much blind when I was born. Very impaired in seeing, and ended up being able to see. Still very blind in my left eye. Went through a ton of surgeries.
Really?
Over 20 surgeries. And I was just, I don't know, it sucked. But my mom and my grandmother, all of them, they would always pray. And I grew up with a family that was fairly religious, but not super religious. But I when my parents would want to go to church, want to do anything like that, I felt really pushed away. And I was I don't really like this. But God was always kind of there, wanting me. I could always feel that hey, you should probably I got some plans for you. And I'd always be no, that's not cool. I don't want that. So went on about that. And then high school hit, and I wasn't the best kid. I don't know, just wasn't the best person. I think that's just how high schoolers are maybe sometimes.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
just wasn't the best person, but there was always that like tug, and sometimes I would like fall on that path and like start to like, clean myself up, want to follow God, and then something would happen. It was always like he was throwing like a hook out for me with bait, and I'd always take the bait, and then I would leave.
Okay.
So in high school, my sophomore year in wrestling, I ended up having a pretty serious neck injury, rendered me paralyzed from the neck down. Wasn't sure if I was going to walk. Like the doctors came in, they're like, yeah, we don't know what's happening yet. They came back. It was in C7, my spinal cord had swelled, and it pushed like the discs or like whatever in your neck like out of place. And this happens sometimes in like football. I was actually listening to a podcast the other day with a football player. They call them like zingers, and it's when you like your spinal cord goes into shock, and then they're paralyzed for like a couple hours, and then like they'll like play a couple weeks later. Mine was just a slight bit different because of like the swelling. So I had to like relearn how to walk. I had to relearn how to feed myself. Like it really sucked. Like that was a damper. But like people would come in. There was like a priest at one point that came in and prayed over me. There was people. I don't know if you guys know who Trisha Shakan is. Like she came in, prayed over me. Okay. People were just like praying. The community, all of Columbia City, all of Columbia City. Like it was crazy.
Columbia City comes together.
They do. Yeah. When something happens, they come together. And that's what I just really love about Columbia City is when something happens to someone, it doesn't matter like if you know them very well or not. Like I had people I'd never heard of like from neighboring towns like coming, supporting, and like helping.
That's awesome.
And it was just really cool. And that was kind of what sparked my like there has to be something more. And I didn't know like how to repay like people. I didn't know how to like they had done something for me, how I give back to them. So that's kind of when I started wanting to like help people. So I'd like help people here and there. Then joined track. Like we said, I got a scholarship.
You weren't going to wrestle again.
I wasn't going to wrestle again. I tried for the year after that.
Okay.
Just didn't go too well. Like it was kind of painful.
Probably scary.
It was scary. Like I held back a lot just because of like fear.
Yeah.
I wasn't really supposed to wrestle that next year. It was just like there was like I don't know. If that injury happens again, then it's not like gonna be the same outcome.
Yeah.
So picked up pole vault. I had a couple schools offering some things, but Huntington really spoke, and it was something I really like. It was a Christian campus. I wanted to start, doing better, getting closer to God. So signed on to them, and when I signed on, I gave a speech, just basically telling all of Columbia City how much like I love them, how thankful I was for them getting me to the place I was at. Went to Huntington, and it was not what I expected at first.
What did you expect?
So I was like, oh, it's a Christian college. Okay. Like, it's just going to be college. Got there, and like, there's like chapel credits you have to get. And there's lots of people there that are like, grew up in faith. Yeah. And I didn't realize that. Like, there was people there with parents from all around the country that like have their own church and all that. And I just wasn't prepared. I felt very like secluded, like all these people are very close to God, like they got really strong connections with God. I don't. So like it kind of like I didn't have any friends. One of my only friends that went there, he was a soccer player, Garrett Kleffiker.
Oh yeah.
We'd hang out here and there, but he had a lot of soccer friends, so like he was busy a lot too because he's really good at soccer. Mm-hmm. But no, I was kind of lonely. I was like, dang, this kind of sucks. So I started praying to God because I was like, hey, I'm here to get closer to you. I want to know what you're doing. Can you like send me someone? Like, can you send me some people? Like, send me some friends. Yeah. And I think God has this weird way of working. He's like, okay, your whole life, like you've been taking this bait. I'm gonna like these are things you want, but I'm gonna make you need it. So what he did is like those first 6-7 weeks of school, he drove my face in the dirt. Like I hit rock bottom. Like it was bad. Like I hated life. I was like, okay. I hate this school. I hate like going to school. I want to go home. Like I'm done. Like this is dumb. Praying's not working. One like October day, this is like early October. I was like playing football
of 2022.
Of 2022, okay. Yes. Playing football, and a group of people like showed up basically, and they basically flipped the whole thing around. Like, God sent friends, really great group of people. They started making me go to like worship nights. I was going to chapel with them.
Okay.
We have something called UCO, and it's kind of a national thing. Like at different colleges, it's like Wednesday nights you go, and it's like a youth service almost. Really nice. They had me going to that, so I was going to church on Sundays with them. Like, they just turned my life around, and then like after that, like God started picking up more in my life, and I like started doing things. I was in some biblical classes that were like, you know, really starting to pick up, and then I started running my podcast, and I don't know, everything's just kind of like been uphill. I know it's going to plateau or crash at some point, but like as long as I stick with it, I think it's going to be cool.
Yeah, I mean, he says in this world you will have struggles. You know that firsthand. Yeah. We know that firsthand. But take heart, I've overcome the world. He's showing you that he has a plan for you. He's getting you in tight groups, good community. I think that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's really cool to hear. I didn't know that. Yeah. So UCO, you want to elaborate more on that?
Okay, so we call it Spark. So I think UCO is the group. We call it Spark Nights. So we come in on Wednesday nights.
I should go.
You should come. Like I've had Ian come, like Ian Clifford come with me on nights and stuff. We're starting a new series actually tomorrow. I won't be there for it though. A new series on like sexuality, or like what it says in the Bible about like sex before marriage and stuff like that, and like how you should like go about relationships with others.
Very relevant.
Yeah. So last time was like learning to love. So like learning to love your neighbor, your enemies, like unconditionally almost. But like there's gonna be like hardships to that. Like you can't just like unconditionally love like God can. But we go through like little mini series just once every Wednesday. It's really fun. We have 3 younger couples that run it. I'm mentored by Logan. There's a couple other guys, Ben and Eric. It's them and their wives. They just come in on Wednesday nights. We worship a little bit. They teach us some stuff, and it's not like they're just lecturing. Like we get into like these small groups, and we have discussion, and they come by. On Thursdays, Logan will actually like take me and like mentor me, and like for an hour we'll just have time to ourselves and like talk about the week, what's going on.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Stuff like that. And I know the other couples and stuff will do that with like other girls and guys in college, and it's just really nice.
Yeah. How many people do you think go to that?
30, 40.
So it's a good like
it's a
small group, young adult thing.
And like people come and go too. Like it's not something that like you have to sign up for, you have to stay committed to. It's just something offered, and it's free, and it's, you know, just something real nice.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Would you say that's a pivotal part in your faith?
Yes, especially because I didn't know that there were like people there that were willing to like be like, hey, I'm here for you. I don't know you, but like I'm gonna be here for you, or I want to help you, or I want to like help you grow in what you want to grow in. Because like I thought like I'm gonna turn my friends and like ask them for help or something, and then like friends sometimes don't do that. But these people, like Logan had known exactly what I was going through because he had gone through something similar in his faith, and now he's working as one of the UCO members. Yeah. But it's just like you go and there's someone there that's like, oh no, I don't know you, but hey, like I'm gonna take you in and like take you under my wing. So it was just something like really cool, or like they understand Christianity and you don't, so they're gonna help you with that.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. Yeah. It's kind of similar to any other group. Yeah. That's cool.
What are you currently studying, like the Bible or like any outside books or anything? What are you currently going through right now?
So I am in a class called Bib Hit Lit. We just went through like the First Testament, which is honestly, like, not gonna lie, kind of boring. Yeah. Like, if you ever read the New Testament, it's just like names after names and who's related to who. Like, I just got into like the book of Isaiah, actually, and that's somewhat interesting. But no, Bib Hitlet's kind of cool. We kind of go through the Bible and we want the overarching story of the Bible. And he just had me do a test, actually, my professor. And 750 words was the minimum. He was like, can you sum up from Genesis to Kings in 750 words? And like then all this criteria, and I ended up writing like 2,500 words. Because like, how do you do that in like 750 words? There's so much. But no, that's what we're working on right now. Church I go to, they're starting to cover kind of like the tribulation and stuff, like the coming of Jesus, like more of like Revelations and stuff, going over that.
What church is that?
Pathway Community. It's in Fort Wayne, over on Carroll Road.
Do you go every
Sunday? Yeah. Sometimes I go to my girlfriend's church over in Bluffton here and there. Sometimes when she wants to go over there, she plays like piano. Oh my gosh, you got to hear her play piano. It's crazy.
We'll hear it later. Yeah.
No, it's really cool.
And she'll go to your church?
Yeah, she goes to my church most of the time. Yeah.
Nice. How'd you meet her?
Huntington, actually. So that within that friend group that came that day that I was like really struggling, the friend group like showed up, and she was a part of that friend group, and we kind of just ended up branching off, but like we're still in that friend group, but she just happened to be a part of it.
Nice. There you go. And just history from there?
Yeah, history from there, I guess. But no.
What's a little bit deeper, what would you say is a way God has worked through you? I know you've had your injury, you've had going to Huntington.
Yeah. I think he's definitely still working through me. I like to have conversations with people, sit down, just like kind of talk to them, like not try to like convert. Like that's one thing, like when I was younger, like I hated when people were like, oh, you need to be a Christian, or like this, or like, it was just really pushy. And that's what I try not to be a whole ton. Like they're sitting down and like conversing, something really nice like that. But I think he's really put it on my mind lately to just go out and like spread the word, not specifically testimony, because sometimes when people are like, oh, I know your problems are bad, but listen about mine, and this is how it helped. Because people would do that. Like there was someone sharing their testimony one time at Huntington, and he was like, I did this, and this, and then God helped me. And I was like, okay, like, he helped you, but like, I felt like, why is he helping you but not me? Because like I've been asking for 6 weeks and nothing's happened. Like absent. Like, how come you did this? Or like, how did you not? I really struggled with the regret after that. Like it was like a big regret thing. Like I was like, oh my gosh, I was such like a terrible person. Like I didn't do great things.
From back in high school?
Yeah, from back in high school and stuff. Like I wasn't the best kid. So like now wanting to be a Christian, I was like, I'm trying to be a Christian, but I got all these like filled with like doubt and like regret and stuff. And this guy's testimony was like, he used to drink and do drugs and this, and then he found God and his life was better. And I was like, okay, like why do I not feel better? Why do I not do this? So like, I like to share with other people, like, if you're going to be a Christian, or like if you're not going to be a Christian, like there's aspects to both that are like really nice. There's still morals to live by. There's still things that you can do. But like living with regrets or these disciplines, like they can help you, but God is there to like help you through that. And I think he's been putting it on me to go and like talk to people about how I found him and how he's helped me through like the faith, and how maybe I can help other people. I've just been trying to help people like as much as I can, putting out a podcast, letting people know, spread the word, stuff like that.
Yeah, I'd say podcast is a great way to do that. No, do you mind touching a bit on the regret thing? You said something you wrestled with. How has he gotten you through that? Has he worked on that?
There was one night, so my grandparents are really great people, very godly people.
I bet they're awesome.
They are. So we sat down one night and I was like telling him about it, and my grandfather, and he was like, okay. So the way he put it was, I'm basically like, you are a new person and this is your past, and God knew you were going to do those things. But in order for him to forgive you, the Bible says that you have to forgive yourself first. Yeah. So working like through all that, he kind of opened my eyes. Like that's not who you are now. Like, I know you have these regrets, but you're a new person. Like, it's going to fill you with that, like, that fear that, like, you might fall back to it. But that's not who you are now. It's okay. Like, you're a whole new person. Like, what matters is if you want to change and you did change. It's not what you did, but, like, what God sees what you're doing currently or going throughout. Like, he'll judge you one day. And if that was just this much of your life, like a small amount of your life, but you changed your life and, like, made a whole turnaround, like, it's going to be okay. You're not like, oh, you did this, you're damned eternally. Like, that's not how it works. God's all forgiving. And that's what, like, got me most of all was, like, I was like, if I can't forgive myself, how could someone as loving as God forgive me? Like, how could someone as powerful and all-knowing and omnipotent, like, forgive me if I couldn't even, like, feel like I would forgive someone for doing the things I did? So it was just, like, that struggle. And one of my professors, Jay LeBlanc, he runs an Understanding Christian Faith class, and talked to him a little bit, and he was like, God is a father that is a father like no other earthly father, and it's something that we can't comprehend. It's something that we won't be able to, like, because, like, we have fathers here that leave their kids, or they, like, beat their kids. They do this, and, like, it creates trust issues. God has never done that, and we can't comprehend that. Even if you do have a really good dad at home, I have a great dad at home. Like, my dad's always been at home. Like, he, like, has done a wonderful job. Does he have his flaws, though? Yes. If I'm going to become a father, am I going to have my flaws? Yes. God doesn't, and we can't comprehend that. So, like, it was a struggle being like, what the heck? Like, how can someone just love you so much?
Yeah.
Or how can someone forgive you?
Yeah, that's crazy. When did you? Probably when you got to Huntington. That's that dark time you had.
Yeah, it set in because I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a Christian. I'm gonna be like, it's gonna be great. I'm just gonna, and then I was like, no, it's a lot harder to do than I thought it would be.
Yeah. No, it's crazy how God works, but I mean, Satan's out there too, and he was working there.
Yep. I think that's something that needs to be acknowledged, that a lot of people don't acknowledge. Like, yeah, God's out there, but Satan does work in people too. Like, might not be as physical or anything, but, like, he's out there. Like, he's walking the earth.
It's not as powerful, but man, it can be tempting, suck you in, whatever, man.
Eat at you, yeah.
It can hurt, but thankfully, God sent His Son for us. You're forgiven. We're forgiven. If you're listening to this, you believe you're forgiven. That's awesome. It's awesome. No, you don't got anything?
I haven't heard from you in, like, forever, though. Like, what's been up with you, Zach?
Me personally?
Yeah.
I've been working. I decided not to go to college, so just been working at Wygen Excavating. Right now, currently, I'm actually at CDL school. It's a federal regulation now. You have to go to school or whatever to be able to get your CDL. So I've been going there for the past week, and then this week, just leading 7th grade boys for the youth group here at church. That's been really cool to see God work in that. Going to young adult small group with Josh, Addie. They both go.
The viewers can't see Addie.
Addie's in the background. You guys can't see her right now. But yeah, that's just been really cool to just continue going with God and hearing from Him day in, day out.
Do you know what Passion is? Passion Conference?
That sounds familiar.
It's a young adult conference put on by Passion Church and Louis Giglio in Atlanta around New Year's. Zach and I have gone to that the past 2 years. That's
actually, I think I do know because I think my girlfriend's, like, youth pastor went to that here recently. I think he, like, I don't know. I think that might be why it sounds familiar. She said something about that. She had mentioned it.
Like, last year it was 60,000 people. This year, like, 25.
Holy cow.
I don't know. It was State Farm Center this year in Atlanta. Last year it was Mercedes-Benz.
Next year it'll be at Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah. It's just a big young adult worship. Like, Elevation Worship was there. Passion Worship. It's awesome. That's really touched Zach and I the past 2 years. That's what's helped us grow. I think that's a big part of your story, man.
Yeah, that's definitely a big part of my story.
Yeah, you should come next year.
Yeah.
We'll send you info. Our church, we're taking a bus next year. Young adults, everyone's welcome. Get you some info.
Did you guys I'm sure you heard about Asbury. Did you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a bus go down there. I wasn't able to go, but
Okay.
I talked to someone that was able to go. What were you guys' thoughts on that?
To be honest, I am not totally in touch with that. I don't know enough. I just heard about it.
Okay.
I thought it looked pretty cool. I mean, obviously, I didn't get to go down there and see it firsthand, but the whole idea of revival is really, really cool to me. I mean, I don't necessarily understand how it sparks like that. Like, to me, that's just crazy that it just sparks and people are worshiping God for a week and a half straight. But it seemed really cool. I mean, I would have loved to went and see more about what it was about.
Yeah, I thought it would have been really cool to go down. I saw videos and people were sending me stuff about it, but I didn't know it was going on until 3 days after it was going on, and then I was like, what is that about? But I thought it was really cool that that's what that passion reminded me of, but there wasn't nearly as many as 60,000 people or anything.
Yeah, it started very, very small, and so you're on Tebow was there, Robinson, Sadie, whatever her name is now, the girl from Duck Dynasty.
I don't watch Duck Dynasty.
Oh, I don't either, but she's pretty big podcast, and don't want to say influencer, but
Christian influencer.
Christian presence.
That's cool.
Just some big pastors there. Our favorite was a guy named JP, Jonathan Pokluda, thank you, from Waco, Texas. He has a podcast we listen to, but he was really, really touching. Just a bunch of big names, big speakers, and not that you have to be big to be a great speaker, but I mean, you know how to be influential if you're big, so
Yeah.
it's pretty touching. I mean, we'll show you some information later.
All right. Sounds
Yeah.
good. Sounds good.
Yeah. Looks like we're coming up on time. Have you watched full episode of this?
I did. I think I got 75% of the way through Jackson Long and Balls.
Okay, good. So you don't know the last question.
No, I don't. Because that was a really good episode. But no, I got 75% of the way through. I got distracted by. I can't remember what happened, but
No, that's good. That's good. So what is, if you had one last trip, where would you go?
Dream vacation.
No limitations, no money. You can bring whoever you want. We want to hear where you're going, what you're doing, who you're bringing.
I haven't gone a lot of places, so I don't know where I would go. Man, I hate flying. I've flown a couple times, but I hate going over water and over big bodies of water, and I've never done it, but I don't want to. One place I have been was New Mexico, and it was in Albuquerque.
Okay.
And even though the crime rate over there is incredibly high.
Breaking Bad's the place.
I just started rewatching that recently. No, it was beautiful. I went up in the mountains and it was mountain climbing and stuff and rock climbing. It was really fun. I think I would go there. I think I would go back to Albuquerque and spend some time up. It's cold up in the mountains, but it's really fun. The elevation's really high and it's hard to breathe, but
Yeah, you're just going to climb, hike.
I'm just going to climb. I love rock climbing. Rock climbing's so fun.
Nice. You were doing some American Ninja Warrior stuff,
Back
correct?
in middle school.
Oh, I remember that.
No, I remember
a little bit of high school, but I think freshman year. No, I was, because that was the reason I was actually in Albuquerque to begin with. I was at nationals and I was fourth in the nation for my age division.
Okay.
At one point, but yeah, I did do a little bit of American Ninja Warrior back in the day.
Is that something you would continue now, or?
If I was healthy, yeah.
I think that'd be awesome.
I can technically get onto the main show now because I'm old enough, but at the time I just wasn't old enough to be on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just doing the branch off of whatever.
Was it
the show
junior
was.
stuff?
It was called UNAA or something, or NNW. It was something weird. I don't know. They had little branches and stuff of and not actually American Ninja Warrior, but it
Did you win anything?
I did. I used to win a ton of things. We would travel around to Michigan, Ohio, stay here in Indiana sometimes, would go to New Mexico, stuff like that. It was really fun, but go down to different people's gyms, and I knew quite a few people from the show actually, and had got to meet them. that was really cool. But yeah, I think that's probably what helped me with like some of my other sports I got into.
Yeah.
'Cause it takes a lot.
For sure.
Dude, I'm going to expose this once again, man. Expose me at least. I was a huge American Ninja Warrior super fan.
Dude, that
like,
show was awesome.
That's how it was.
late
awesome.
elementary to middle school, I knew all their names. Like,
Yep.
oh.
So did I had some pretty good friends that were on the show. I competed against them in Rockford, Michigan. I got to compete against some of them in one of the competitions there, and I got to the last obstacle, and if I got up like on the obstacle, I think I would have got like third.
Okay.
Or something, and I like failed on the very last obstacle, and I ended up not like I placed like top 15 or whatever, so I
Okay.
didn't get to like continue to the finals.
Oh, there's more past Arizona?
Oh yeah, there's competitions all over.
Okay.
So like, yeah, but that one I was competing in the adult division I was like 13 or 14. I was competing in the adult division with them, and I don't want to say his name because he's like in prison now.
Oh.
But, yeah. So like me and him were somewhat.
Should tell us later.
Yeah, we were like somewhat of friends. Like I competed with him at Rockford, seen him some other places and got to meet him. Like he was kind of like my idol, and like yeah, it really sucked. Like no, like I had to get rid of all of his merch and stuff. So like yeah, he was really like a really cool person until he wasn't cool. But no, so yeah, a lot of people like I have probably tons of archived pictures of like me and like people, and some of them are still on the show and stuff, but I just haven't kept up with it in the past years.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of, you had that influence, that idol in you. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to assume that he wasn't a Christian, but I mean, that kind of shows you have definitely grown in who you're putting your influences in, as you have your, what was his name again?
Your mentor.
My mentor,
OPC, whatever. UPO.
UPO.
UCO.
UFC? Wait.
No. Oh.
Yeah, so I mean, your influence has definitely changed. Not that he was a bad guy then or anything,
Yeah.
but
Not that we knew of.
maybe. But yeah, so you're going to Arizona. Who you bringing?
New Mexico.
New Mexico.
New Mexico.
But
It's like the same place
Same thing.
basically.
You'd go there.
Once
too.
you get down south, it's all the same.
You gotta travel around if you're
Yeah,
there.
travel.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah.
over in that area, you can travel that region.
Who am I bringing? I bring my dad back because it was me and him when we went down that time.
That's dedication by him.
My mom, because she loves like to travel and explore things. I'd have to bring my mom. I don't know, maybe my girlfriend. I don't know how much she would like to go down there with me, but I don't know. Probably just them.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who else really wants to go to New Mexico and just like travel with me.
Yeah.
But because I'm very like energetic and like to go explore and like hike, and like went down to Kentucky last spring break and was like rock climbing everything and like climbing over cliffs and waterfalls and stuff.
Nice.
So like I just like to go do my own thing. So like when if I were to like travel somewhere far away like that, I'd almost want to be like by myself.
Hey, that's honestly like really fitting. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put in some music and just climb.
Exactly.
Can't say I've done that, but it sounds
I've
fun.
never done that.
Yeah. Well, Isaiah, thank you so much, man.
Thanks for having me on.
This was really fun.
Yeah.
I learned
Yeah.
a lot.
I did too.
It was really cool. We're gonna get some information exchange later, and yeah, if you have any questions for Isaiah, feel free to reach out. I'm sure you'd love to hear, love to communicate with the people.
Of course.
You have any closing thoughts?
I don't think so.
No?
I think so. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much. If you're watching, listening, thank you. Hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.